All right, so a trade happened right as I woke up. Viktor Arvidsson is being traded to the Los Angeles Kings out of seemingly nowhere. Or was it? Now, if you're watching this on the replay of this live stream, we make daily hockey content on this channel talking about trades all the time. So if you're enjoying this, make sure that subscribe and join the Grav Gang, and we'll have all the trades talk throughout this offseason. There's going to be a lot, of course, with the Seattle expansion draft, but Viktor Arvidsson has been traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Huge trade here between the Nashville Predators and LA. And now, I said earlier, this kind of came out of nowhere, but Elliot Friedman in his recent 31 thoughts actually said that Viktor Arvidsson could be on the move, and we see just a bomb laid down this afternoon. Viktor Arvidsson going to Nashville. In exchange, the actual trade itself, we'll see the Preds receive a 2021 third-round pick and a 2022 third-round pick as well. If you're just coming by, say hello in the chat, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are coming in. Huge trade here. Shout out to the people in here. We got Logan, Isaiah, David, Black Thunder, Timmy, Mackesy, Mason, Slots. We got Mikkel, we got Isaiah Sheary. Good to see you guys in the chat. Now we're going to break this trade down bit by bit. Let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments down below if you're watching this in the replay. Who you guys think wins this trade, the Kings or the Preds? And again, I just woke up with this trade, so just give me a second, y'all. But now, personally for me, Viktor Arvidsson has been one of my favorite Predators on the Preds for a very long time. Really, ever since he came into the NHL full-time and became a full-time player for them. I mean, just looking at his stats so far over these past few seasons, Viktor Arvidsson has been just a fantastic, great player for them. But there has been consistency issues. There has been injury issues. And he is 28 years old. And we kind of see Nashville going a little bit more of a retool here potentially in the future. He might not fit with that timeline, but I'm not really sure why they keep a guy like Ekholm in the process if they're going to do that anyways. But Arvidsson is off the team now, and over the course of these past really 6 seasons-ish, Arvidsson's been fantastic. I mean, dating back to his first really full season in 2017, he got 61 points, 31 goals, 30 assists. In 2018, he got 61 points again in 78 games this time, 29 goals, 32 assists, great season. And then in 2019, even though it was a little bit of an injury-riddled season, he still was fantastic when he did play. He got 34 goals in 58 games, got 48 points, was fantastic, but over these past couple of seasons has also had some injuries, also hasn't been 100%, and just hasn't really played as good as he usually was. He, in the last 2 seasons, got 28 points in 57 games in 2020. This year got 25 points in 50 games in 2021. So I think with LA, there's real potential there to unlock that past Viktor Arvidsson that we did see. I mean, if they can get 34 goals in 58 games played, that kind of pace, they're going to be in for a pretty good haul. And for a second round pick and a 2022 third, I don't hate this whatsoever for LA. He still should be in the prime of his career. He's 28. This is a guy that does still have a lot, I think, left in him. And even though the injuries have kind of piled up a little bit here recently, I think this is still a player that can do some major damage and still have a lot of productivity in the NHL. And LA is an interesting, like, I don't know if you guys think the same way. LA is an interesting place for me because they're kind of in this rebuild, but they had a great season or a much better season this last year. So maybe they're just trying to accelerate the rebuild and maybe compete for this next year. I mean, the Pacific Division really isn't going to be that great this next season, so maybe they have a chance at making the playoffs. Who knows? And adding Viktor Arvidsson to that forward group, I think is going to do some major things. I think him playing with a guy like Kopitar or him playing with a guy like just some of the younger guys like Trevor Moore or some of those playmakers, I think could definitely help him quite a bit. But I don't know. LA is a weird destination for sure, but I think it will work out actually in the first season. I think if Viktor Arvidsson stays healthy, I mean, he's going to be on the first line. He's going to be on the first line. I mean, just looking at the daily faceoff, he's going to be on the first line. He's going to be in that top 6. He's going to get major power play opportunities, which is exactly where he should be. And I think for LA, that's an interesting ad. Again, he's still 28. I mean, when we look at his contract, oh my goodness. Wait a second, who donated? TJ with a 3. Thank you so much, TJ. Can we get some TJ hype in the chat down below? Thank you so much, brother. We got 100 people in the chat. Thank you guys for dropping by. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't as well. Breaking down that trade. Let me know who you think wins, LA or Nashville. And let me know what you think. I'll be getting into the questions for this trade or some of your opinions on this trade in a couple minutes as we continue to break this down. But I'm going to go once again to LA's cap friendly now with Viktor Arvidsson in here. So Viktor Arvidsson, his contract, he makes $4.2 million for this year, or for 2021, which is next season. 2021, 2022, next season, the year after that, and the year after that. So a 3-year contract left on his deal. He'll be 28, of course, or he is 28. And when it comes to his actual spot on the lineup, again, I would imagine he gets a pretty high spot. Looking at what I'll just show this. Let me go to the window capture here real quick. I mean, LA doesn't really have that many other options that really seem too feasible. Let me show this real quick. So these are the LA Kings forward lines according to Daily Faceoff. And obviously that could be different as to what we see next season. But they got Iafallo, Kopitar, Grundstrom, Anderson, Gabriel, Velarde, somebody, I don't even know who that is. Drake Rimsha. I think they tried to put two people. I think that file just didn't even load on Daily Faceoff. Great job, guys. Great job. Then Kempe, Kupari, Moore, and then Lemieux, Anderson, Dolan, and Matt Luff. So looking at this lineup, man, there is a lot of space for Viktor Arvidsson. And he's got to be on that first line. He's probably going to be playing with Kopitar, probably going to be playing with Iafallo. So he's going to get a good spot. He's going to get a good spot for sure. And honestly, I'll say this, going down with this trade in terms of who I think wins, which is the big thing, who I think wins this trade, honestly, right now, I think it's the LA Kings. Like, even though Nashville gets a second and a third, which is good draft surplus, I think the LA Kings, for what you could potentially get with Arvidsson, this is pretty fantastic for what you could potentially get. If he's still kind of like a half a point per game player, then maybe Nashville wins this trade. And it, of course, determines what happens with those draft picks. But I think just on paper, what LA could get, and with their team going forward, with their team kind of on the rise and all those young guys coming in, I think Arvidsson's going to be a good influence on that team. He's going to be a great player on that team, and especially power play wise, he's going to get all the opportunity. I'm going to say the LA Kings win this trade. I don't know if it's by a huge mile, because again, it really does depend on those picks. So we'll see what happens with those if Nashville actually uses them well. But I don't know. Like, I feel like in Arvidsson's case, you're in Nashville's case specifically, I think the timing of this trade is a little bit weird to me, because David Poile. Oh my gosh, my alarm's going off. My alarm's going off. Thank you, phone. Appreciate it. But I think when it comes to this trade, it's a little bit weird to me, because you're trading Arvidsson admittedly at his lowest value ever, really. Like, this is a guy that's gotten half a point per game. He's had some injuries recently. If you traded him after 2019, after that amazing like 34 goal season, you would have gotten at least like a first and a second, I think. But now you settle for a second. Now you settle for a third round pick. And to me, I feel like I would have given Arvidsson one last season to just see if he can rebound and then maybe trade him, because it was obvious that he wasn't in the future plans for the Nashville Predators. But why are you trading him now? I mean, it's not like he's going to be a UFA after this next season or something. He's going to be on your team for 3 more seasons, and he has chances to rebound and be healthy. I don't know. I think there's a lot to go with there. And obviously, in terms of this current market right now, I think Nashville probably got what the most they could actually get. But still, at the same time, I would have given them more of a chance. And it's sad to see Arvidsson, who's honestly, in my opinion, when he was at his peak with Nashville, the most exciting player on that team, go away to LA and just out of the blue, just suddenly this offseason. But we'll see what happens. This is the first big trade of this NHL offseason. Viktor Arvidsson going to LA. Mr. No Name. I mean, I have the whole trade right here. The whole trade is right here. But it really depends what those picks end up being. Now TJ Oshie says, I just bought. Oh, TJ just said they just bought an Arvidsson jersey. That is, oh my goodness. Can we get some F's in the chat for TJ? Just bought an Arvidsson jersey. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is a tough scene, man. That is a tough scene. I want to thank 120 in this chat for joining us today. It is a little bit early. It's 11:47, and again, I woke up in this trade. I woke up, saw like 15 minutes ago this trade was a thing. So I basically woke up with you guys with this trade. So, Dave Collins, what's going on? Please tell me this isn't real. Please save me from this misery. LA robbed us. We could have easily gotten a prospect. There's so much pain. Fire Poyle, please. I would like to say it gets much better, David, but I don't know. Like in this current field, I mean, I think for Nashville, if you're going to rebuild, this might as well be the time, because you could get a Wright, you could get a Lambert, you could get a Matvei Michkov, you could get a Connor Bedard, but I don't know. Like, to me, it's kind of weird, the timing, because if Nashville's going to go in the rebuild, why didn't they just do it earlier in the season? Even though it worked out for them and they made the playoffs, it was kind of like, are you going to be a rebuilding team or not? And this to me is interesting because you get rid of Arvidsson, who's 28. Like, this isn't a grandpa by any means. This is still a player that can contribute, that can have a lot to your team, and they just get rid of him in one fell swoop. And I don't know. I feel like this. I don't know what to think about Nashville's future now and what they go with. I mean, if they let me know in the chat. Do they go for a full rebuild now, or are they just going to absolutely go out with everything? I want to know your thoughts, because I'm kind of interested here, because they got a lot of UFAs, a lot of guys to sign. I mean, both Rene and Saros are free agents, even though Saros is an RFA. They got Tolvanen as an RFA. They got Haula, Granlund as UFAs. They got Forsberg as a UFA. They got Forsberg as a UFA after next season. There's a lot of decisions to make. And I mean, you got Duchesne locked up for the next 5 years. You got Johansson locked up for the next 4. You got Roman Josi for the next like 6 years almost. At the end of 2028, so you got him for like 7 more years. You got Ellis for it's like 6 more years. In terms of the contracts, it doesn't really fit, but I don't know. Do they go after that? I'm not really too sure. Hey, Justin, appreciate it. I think this will be a great trade for the LA Kings. Great trade for the LA Kings. I get the timing of the, and it's for the Seattle crap, but we could easily gotten a Velarde or a Lizotte ever since Bertuzzo. Arvidsson has never been the same. Yeah, that has been true. I remember that incident. That does suck looking back on it. Absolutely. I hate Bertuzzo, man. I absolutely hate Bertuzzo. But I think with the Seattle draft, that is obviously a factor here. And LA won't have too many problems in that, so they'll be fine taking a contract like that on. But I don't know. I think there's ways you could have made it fit. There's ways you could have made it fit. And I mean, actually, let me just go through. Let me just see what's going on here with Nashville. They could have made that fit. Let's go for the let's go for the cap friendly Seattle draft here. Let me go all the way to Nashville. So let me see here real quick. So this is what I was kind of thinking what Nashville would go for, and I might make a Seattle video pretty soon, but let me show it right real quick. So this is my protections, and so the check marks are who I think will be protected by Nashville, and the white marks are the white non-check marks are who I think will get exposed. So I think they're going to end up exposing Ryan Johansson, just for the pure fact that he has that contract, and if Seattle takes him, they take him. But I doubt that Seattle would take on just an $8 million contract right then and there, unless there's something involved, which there may be. But the big one to me that might be exposed is Luke Kunin. You also got Rocco Grimaldi, some solid players that Nashville might have to expose if they're gonna keep Fabro, Matthias Ekholm, Ellis, Josi, which I see is what will be the case. So they're gonna have to make some they're gonna have to make some adjustments there. But I guess you don't have Arvidsson anymore in that, so you can take him off, I guess, and then you can put in maybe Kunin, or you can put in maybe Johansson. But yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, they could have still made it work. There was always potential of that, but I guess they make it just a little bit easier on themselves, I guess. But honestly, I still think they should have just kept him and maybe tried to trade him in the trade deadline or something. I feel like you could have gotten a lot more than just a second and a third, man. And I'll say this, I haven't loved the job that David Poyle has done these past couple of years. Like, I don't know about you guys, I still have massive respect for David Poyle, longtime GM of the Preds, obviously, done a great job there most of the time. But I will say, some of the moves he's made these past couple of seasons have kind of irked me. I mean, giving Duchesne $8 million after giving Johansson $8 million. I mean, that hasn't exactly worked out for them so far. But we'll see how it works out. Oh, I love the new ESPN group. Juan Jose. So many good names on that team. McDavid97, what's going on? Also, our future looks great. We put Tomasino and Tolvanen in, and we play the young guys. We can do great. Just move Ellis and see if we can move one of our $8 million players. I kind of like their future. I don't know. I feel like if you move, Ekholm and then keep Ellis, I personally would keep Ellis at least for a couple more seasons. But I mean, Tomasino, Tolvanen, you're definitely right. We'll have a big impact there. Hopefully, eventually, Yaroslav Askarov will also be a part of that. So it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Who's 5,000? Are the Kings wanting to make the playoffs? Honestly, here's the thing. I think LA, it might not. I want to prepare you guys right now. I want to prepare you guys. If Cal Peterson has another great season next year, do not be surprised that the LA Kings make the playoffs. But I think that'll be pretty much it for today, guys. Gone for 55 minutes tonight. Thank you guys for dropping by. We'll be streaming tomorrow for game 3 of the Bolts versus the Habs. So I hope to see you there. And of course, we're doing daily hockey content on this channel. We're going to be going live for every new trade, every new opportunity, every new piece of news. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well to get notified on when we go live for these new live streams. And we could be the first ones for the trade news. So make sure you join us for all of it. We'll be here throughout the entire offseason, though, and a lot of trades, a lot of moves will be made between now and the expanded draft. So you'll make sure to stick in the live streams, stick here in the Grab Gang, and let's keep it going. Sorry for being a little bit sloggy throughout today. I just woke up, but hey, it's pretty good to wake up to a new trade to talk about. I think LA wins this trade, but good luck to both teams. Good luck to Viktor Arvidsson. But thank you guys so much for coming in. Shoutouts to all you beauties. We got Liam, Yanni, LCT, Cash Bar, Donato, Logan Z, Eliminator, Joe, Hockey Arcade, Branderson, the Legend, Joshua, Will. We got Pisher 88, AJ. We got Spencer. We got Chris, Cameron, Matthew Last, Justin Mercado. Always Hockey 35 or 34. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Hit that subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And officially, goodbye. See you later. Have a great day, everyone. Good luck to once again Arvidsson and the Kings. And I'll see you in the next